Plus 0% interest for 24 months and Sunday. You know, lately, I've been thinking about my voice. Asking the question, what is my voice? Is it what I'm hearing now? Or is it a collection of sounds, accents I picked up along the way? I grew up in an Irish house in the Bronx. My parents were both from Ireland. I used to hear things like, it's not off the grass you licked it. I'm not sure about that one. Or, hand me that York over there. What? Or, my mother's favorite. Don't aggravate me, no. Don't shame me. Or is it my neighborhood voice, my Bronx voice? How you doing? I don't know. How you doing? I don't know. How you doing? You know. Or is there some intrinsic meanness in my voice? So I asked this question, what is my voice? And I waited. And after a while, I heard a voice. And this voice, it attached itself to a memory. And this memory just came floating down and floated right through this little tiny screen door in my heart. And I found myself on Davidson Avenue in the Bronx. It was a snow day. Happiest day of the year, right? Should have been. But me and my two best friends were getting our asses kicked by this bully up the block. And I was calling for my sister Kathleen to come down and to push back. I heard a voice, my voice, saying, Kathleen! That was sad, weak. And then, Kathleen! I was like begging, plea. And then, Kathleen! Angry, but strong. Well, she did come down. And she pushed back. She walked right up to that kid. She put his head into a snowbank, and he was bigger than her. And she said, leave my brother alone. That's the way she talked when she was pissed. And he did. She was my hero that day. But is that my voice? Voice of fear? A voice of strength and clarity? Maybe. Well, I decided to sit a little longer, and I asked again. And after a while, I heard another voice. And this voice gently attached itself to this memory. And this memory just came sort of swirling down and just swirled right through this little tiny screen door in my heart. And I found myself on the altar at Fordham University Chapel on my wedding day. And Father Mike Sepp was saying, do you, John, take Hillary to be your bride, to have and to hold, till death do you part? And I looked over, and I saw the most beautiful girl in the world, both inside and out. And she had agreed to marry me, the man-child. And I heard this voice, my voice, say, I do. Now that voice, that was all in, meant it. But there was love in that voice, and joy. And maybe the sound of being lucky. Is that my voice? Voice of love. Voice of joy. Maybe. Well, I decided to ask one more time. And I sat and I waited. Strange thing happened. Nah. Not strange at all. I heard another voice. And this voice, it fused itself to a memory. This memory just sort of rocketed right through the screen door of my heart. And I found myself in Mahopac, New York, at my father's funeral mass. And my sister Kathleen was talking to the parish pastor, and he was informing her that she wouldn't be allowed to say the eulogy at the mass that day, which was the custom. And she was crying. And we asked, why is that, Father? And he said, because of the Italians. What? Well, it turns out that the The parish has a lot of Italian parishioners as well as Irish. And every time there was an Italian funeral, the line for speakers to come up was longer than the communion line. So, like, Uncle Vito would be up there, have I ever told you what my brother Carmine has meant to this family? Beloved husband to Teresa. Devoted father to Carmine Jr., Salvatore, Vito. And godfather to baby Thomasina. Have I ever told you what he has meant to this fucking family? Oh, sorry, father. Anyway, you get the idea. Now, the irony was not lost on me. My father was not a Frank Sinatra fan. Let's just leave it at that. Well, luckily, our cousin, Father Liam Quinn, was celebrating Mass, and he came right up to my sister Kathleen. And he said, look, pay no attention to him. As soon as the gospel is done, we'll sit down. I'll give you a signal. That's when you come up and you say your piece. And she did. Now, here's the thing. I was supposed to speak at the grave. But I had this thing in my head that I wasn't going to be allowed to. She got away with it, but I had to be a good altar boy. So I was standing there graveside, and the priest is wrapping up, and I was dying inside because I couldn't speak. And I heard a voice, my voice, say, "Excuse me, Father. No disrespect. But I'm going to say a few words here and now for my father." Now that voice, angry, determined, confident, self-assured. Is that my voice? Voice of confidence? But as I get older, I realize that asking the question is enough. I don't need the answers. But I ask anyway. And sometimes I don't hear anything. But sometimes I do. Now, maybe it's just an echo. Maybe it's something else. From somewhere else. And that's when I pay close attention. No interest for 24 months and Sunday. No interest for 24 months and Sunday.
Musician is P-Dog and J-Bone. Take 3.
Tom and Jerry, huh?